What's up, FHN? I'm Parker.
And I'm Max.
And welcome back to this week's episode of The Nightly Show.
We've almost made it to winter break, and I know I'm excited to hang out with my family over the holidays.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, but don't forget about finals because they are right around the corner.
You didn't have to remind me.
Hey, that's my bad. There's no need to be stressing over winter break. Instead, let's focus on some positives.
Good call, but I think that'll be easy for some of the newest college commits for the girls' soccer team. I bet they'll be heading into break with smiles on their faces.
No doubt about it. Here's Addison Jones with more information on the recent commitments.
Most girls in the ECNL League and SLSG program are looking to commit and continue their soccer career in college.
I'd say some of the biggest things that stood out to me during the recruiting process was the relationships that you have to build with coaches and the people that you meet, because you do meet a lot of different people and you kind of got to learn how to talk to them and make a good impression, I guess.
Committing can be a long and stressful process, but girls have to do what's best for them, whether that be D1 or D2.
I would say that you need to do what's best for you, because obviously everyone went to D1 and stuff, but I went lower because I think that was the best choice for me. I'd say definitely get Ralph involved, because he was the main reason I even got to commit, because he helped me out the most. And I would say the visits are really fun, but make sure you're asking the right questions, because if you don't, you're just not going to get what you want out of it.
Here are the ECNL SLSG girls training and getting ready for their upcoming games where many college coaches will attend.
Those girls have been working really hard, and it's good to see all their hard work paying off.
Agreed. As for our non-college commits, there's still plenty to look forward to this holiday season.
Yep. Christmas is right around the corner, and you know what that means.
Time spent with loved ones.
Nope. Presents! I asked for so many new video games this year.
Right. Well, be careful for what you ask for, Max, because I've heard that some are a lot more difficult to complete than others.
Don't worry. Jacob Bass has me covered with his new tier list on which games are the hardest to complete.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Hi, my name is Jacob, and today we'll be ranking a few platformer games by the difficulty I had playing them. Platformer games are a category of games where you need to get your character from point A to point B by jumping between platforms in each level or world. For example, the Mario games, where they have to get from the start to the flag at the end of the level. First up is Resizer, which is a fun size manipulating game where your character changes size through portals. I will put this in the medium difficulty tier. I did this because the levels had some difficulty in them, and I kept mixing and thinking through where you wanted to go with some semi-difficult platforming. Though, with all that said, it was an enjoyable game to play, and it wasn't too difficult. After that is Fireblob. Fireblob is a fun platformer that focuses around fire and ice. Your character is on fire, and that lets you melt ice blocks in the levels. I would put this in the medium difficulty tier because the levels are kind of difficult to complete, but they also have increased difficulty as the game goes on. An example of this is the later levels. They introduce buttons that create timing challenges in these levels. But all in all, the game wasn't so difficult, so I would still put it in the medium difficulty tier. After that is Fireblob Winter. This is a sequel to Fireblob with the same theme as that one. The only reason that it's in the hard difficulty tier is because it's got 80 levels in it, and the last level is a boss level. It also adds a lot of moving platforms to make the levels more challenging, but other than that, it's still a really fun game. Next up is Mobility. This is a story-driven platforming game. I put this in the hard difficulty tier because the levels are sometimes very hard and precise. For example, some of the levels have jumps where you need to get between close together spikes. While these difficult areas don't happen often, there are a few of them scattered throughout the game. Each level has 4 different difficulties that you can pick for any level, so from my experience the game was actually kind of difficult. I put this in this tier because the difficulty level wasn't too hard for me to put it in a lower tier, but I didn't struggle with it the whole time, so it wasn't in the highest tier. Next up is Tower of the Scorched Sea. This platformer game is a long tower-shaped parkour with puzzles in it. For example, in one of the sections you need to guide a line of light to a door in a small period of time. This game is in the nearly impossible difficulty tier because of the long, difficult platforming areas in it with a lot of tricky puzzles in it. With that, you need to do a lot in order to win the game. But even though it was difficult, I overall really still enjoyed the game. And those are some of the platformer games I've played ranked by the difficulty I had playing them. Thanks for joining me for this video.
Maybe I overestimated myself a little bit. Some of those are pretty difficult.
Don't worry, Max. I'm sure someday you'll be as good at video games as I am.
That's not something you should be boasting about.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being proud of what you're good at.
Which is why I love our school's publication program, especially the yearbook staff.
Tell me about it. I love how much hard work they put into making each year's yearbook a great one.
I can't wait to see what they have for this upcoming yearbook. I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Well, tell me what you think after seeing this sneak peek from Vanessa Ng.
Every year, the yearbook staff creates a new, unique theme to describe each school year's energy and character. They began planning this year's yearbook last spring and really got into it during the summer, and are currently 2 deadlines in with 9 spreads done. The theme for the 2022-2023 school year is, It All Starts With What If.
To me, it means we are asking the questions that we've always been afraid to ask about this year, because with the new construction, new administrators, there's a lot of unknowns and things that we don't know what are going to happen.
We just wanted to put a positive spin on it and answer all of our what if questions that a lot of people have. We are really trying hard to put a rewording of It All Starts With What If on every single page, so they'll be able to see the different starts or what, or different words from that, and see it through the whole entire book.
We're trying to make it really colorful, kind of out there in your face and bold.
They're not too vibrant to where they're going to hurt your eyes, and they're not too dull to where it's boring to look at. We have a nice contrast for our theme this year.
Sometimes it's hard not to get stuck in one phrase. You don't want to keep using the phrase It All Starts With. You want to have a variety, but you also want to make sure it still goes with your theme.
Each spread is different because we're covering so many different things, and there's...
Well, you just gave me all the more reason to want this school year to end. I really want one now.
Whoa, Max, calm down. I'm just as excited as you are, no doubt, but we just finished semester 1.
You're right. But all the stuff in the yearbook does look pretty cool. But I'm looking for something a bit spookier.
During the holidays, wouldn't you want something happier?
Well, I did hear about a new true crime podcast, and how could I resist?
Fair point, but where did you hear that from?
Well, I got to look at it from the newest promo by Dana. Check it out.
Hello, I'm Dana from Crime Talks. In a recent podcast, I talk about a 20-year-old college student that went missing after a night shift. Where did she go? Who took her? People wondering why a straight-A student that was loved by those around her went missing. People expressing their thoughts on the student and more. If you like to listen to crime and old cases that have went cold and brought back for solving, listen to Crime Talks at FHNtoday, Spotify.
I'll have to check it out. It looks really interesting.
Now do you see why I wanted to see something spooky?
Well, yeah, but let's focus on something happier, like officially having the first semester under our belts. That is quite the milestone.
I bet everyone's pretty happy about that, including Mr. Havermale, our new social studies teacher.
Well, luckily, Rhea Patel did a feature story on him and how he felt after the first semester at our school.
What the heck? That's really fair. We're trying to win.
We're trying to win?
Yeah.
You guys want to play it the regular way?
Yeah.
My name is Matt Havermale. This is my first year here at North. So I teach AP Government and Psychology and U.S. History. Immediately preceding this, I was at Troy. So I was teaching alternative education in Troy. And then before that, I was in Warrenton. And then I started my career in the Kansas City area in a small town called Clinton. Prior to this, I was teaching in alternative education. I taught students who otherwise weren't going to graduate. So they were credit deficient. It's an abbreviated program to get them across the finish line, essentially, to graduations. There's much more diversity here, which is something I've truly appreciated. A nice change for me to be around those different perspectives and being able to kind of have those conversations. I've been a coach all 8 years. I've been a teacher. Coaching girls golf was kind of a new experience for me, but it was a really great way to kind of get myself into the fabric of FHN and really get to know some of the people that I don't have in class. Sending 3 to state was a really big accomplishment for us, and it felt really nice to be part of that.
I hope his second semester is even better than his first.
I hope so too. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials at FHNtoday and download our new app. Once again, I'm Parker.
And I'm Max, signing off.